Good afternoon from Joss Bay. I've been coming here since I was a child. Just had a nice little surprise of Fulmar. I didn't know what it flew like. I just thought that gull is flying really strangely. Quickly got my camera up and got it. Really nice pic. It's flying across the bay twice, so I'm going to keep an eye out for it. And then I got a really nice picture of a Whimbrel coming right at me and then bearing off. So I think that was him. I've got to keep my eyes out. I will get him. I'll get a better shot. But at the moment we've got all the beaches full of herring gulls, the pied wagtails. I might go for a walk up on the cliffs over there, because I've seen things in the past of when channel migrants come over. This is where they first land to get a bite. Looks like a cormorant over there. Be nice to do a little species list of just hanging about this one little area. But yeah, I've been coming here since the 80s. It's a school turn. I don't want the lens flare. I've been coming here since I was a kid a couple of times, and there's no kids today, ironically. So it's nice and clear. I might have a dip. I did bring my swimming costume because I don't mind a cold dip. So yeah, so we'll see what we see when the tide goes out of it. I'm here for a tan, but obviously you don't want to see my top with my t-shirt off. So t-shirt's back on for filming purposes. Nobody wants to see that. So this is where it's quite funny actually, because this is where the Whimbrel was feeding along here on the edge of the beach, the eastern end, and it's been flying over to the western end as well. And when I first took pictures of it and did the video, I said curlew. See, I've done it again. It's not curlew. It was a Whimbrel, but when I did the video, I called it a Whimbrel, and then I was saying to myself afterwards, wait a minute, of course it's not a Whimbrel, it's a curlew, without even checking what it was. I just assumed out here it's a curlew. So I did the video again, just to prove it to you, with curlew, which I was going to edit in, going through some seaweed and stuff, and I knew what it was a curlew. And then, as I was coming back up the beach here to see it, looked in, and it was a Whimbrel after all. So, remember, speak forward. I watch my last video and I keep turning around and the sound is awful, so mental note, keep looking at the camera. So, let's get this right. On those rocks, I've just got a kestrel, male kestrel, landed on the cliff face, rock face, came down and was nibbling on something. I tried to film it, but the heat haze is awful. It's only 22 degrees, but there's heat haze. And I tried to film some of the Whimbrel, steady as I could, 800mm. It's going to be a bit shaky, not much you can do when it's at distance. Heat haze, and there's a slight breeze. And I think my new Rode on camera mic is probably making the camera even more unsteady, because if there's any wind, it sort of rocks me about. So I'm just going to I'm going to do a circuit of the whole beach, right up on the edges of the cliff face, because I want to see what's roosting or nesting in there. There might be some surprises. I've heard some wagtails going across. I assume pied, but yeah, there's a pied wagtail on the beach there flicking about. But I want to be seeing if there are any channel wagtails or anything like that, any surprises. Just walked to where are we now? The southern side of Joss Bay, along the top of the cliff, towards the lighthouse over there. Just listening out for any kind of chirps or bird song or noises. Sort of the only small things I've seen. A couple of linnets just flew over. I've definitely heard some house sparrows over there by the houses. House sparrows' houses. Yeah. I know. There's a joke in there somewhere. Speak louder. It's quiet up here. As you can hear, yeah, there's nothing going on. You're at eye level with the gulls here, which is great. I did see a little movement there in the field. It was either something jumped or no, I see something moving around in it. Might just be a pied wagtail. I'll get back to you. Indeed, pied wagtail. Always gives you a little racing heart when you see something you don't recognise from a distance and you zoom in. Sometimes it is something unusual. That's the magic. Yeah. No sound. Anyway, the gulls, I'm hoping the Fulmar, I've had some cracking fly paths from the Fulmar. Some nice detail shots. You can really see that great beak they've got. So I was hoping up here maybe I could get a line to film it, but I've just been sunbathing, so not really concentrating on what's flying behind me. This is one of the things about this hobby. Now, why have we come today? Because my wife said the weather's getting good. Can we go for an ice cream or whippy at the beach? Of course. What I try to do is, whenever she asks to do something, I want to do it, because the birding is a big part of my life, and I try to work around things that she wants to do. So if she wants to go shopping, to the beach, and there's birding places, and a lot of my videos will be in that sort of going around hotels we're staying at, or places out where we're going and looking for stuff that's in that immediate area. Might just be one or two rare birds. Sometimes it's something quite unusual, and that just makes the whole trip. Oh, there goes the Fulmar. It's going away from me. Yeah, it's interesting watching it. The gulls either kind of flap and their wings kind of curve as they flap. And this goes really quick. It kind of, what would I say that looks like? It's maybe a bit cormorant-like, the way it flaps. Sort of flaps and then it glides. And the wings are shorter. It really caught my eye today. Of all the gulls floating about in the sky, you think, how did you spot that? And it's like, sometimes, even when I'm abroad and it's a completely new bird, something just looks unusual. It catches your eye, and you can't learn it. You just pick it up as you go along. That it's not a behaviour that you've seen before. Your brain doesn't recognise the way something is flying. And I bet if most birders did a silhouette quiz of the movement, they'd be able to tell you what bird it is. Like if it was just a shape of a bird, not the actual bird shape, but just wings and a body, and they showed the silhouette flying in whatever the bird species is, the way that bird species flies, they'd be able to identify it. Blackbird, song thrush, linnet, pied, so any kind of wagtail, you'd be able to do it. There's a certain very subtle flight pattern, flight movement of the wings that you pick up over time, where other people say, how do you do that? It's been for me it's been 4 years. Some people it's been 50, 60. So yeah, we're gonna have a walk over to that side. The golf course is there. I'm always nervous around golf courses because of random flying golf balls, and because we do know someone who, I think it was back in the 90s or early 2000s, friend of the family, who lost an eye coming out of a golf course club, walked out the door, smack. So yeah, whenever I see a golf course, I'm very nervous. Gotta love a bit of rock pooling. This is it. It's lovely sound when you're walking on the stones. I am trying to be careful though, because I'm just imagining anything that's underneath them, so I'm trying not to stand on anything too flat and looks like it's loose, because that's where things could be underneath. So I'm just trying to be considerate in that sense. So let me just small. Yeah, love that sound. You got to wear your thick boots for this. I've just been here because the Fulmar has given me a couple of circles, and I've tried to get some footage, and I messed up some beautiful footage. I've really got to be careful that record thing is very obvious in the top right hand corner. It's where I didn't stop recording from the last one, so when I pressed record it was actually stopping the recording and I lost the footage. Amateur hour. All these things I've got to stop looking away from the camera when you speak. So yep, these are all goals. I'm just looking out for that very distinctive Fulmar shape. There are some barn swallows going across. There's one there. So those are the Horrendines, if that's how you pronounce it. And yeah, I've decided forget work. It's just too nice here. I'll go in for but it's one of those things where you do the maths. Watching too many American movies. It's 4:30. By the time we pack up, get in the car, we're going to stop for ice cream still. That's 5:30, an hour and a half drive home, traffic, wash. It's not going to be worth me going in. I'll make up for it on Saturday and Sunday. So let's make our way back, because it's my lovely wife Anna is probably wondering what I'm doing. That big kid over by the rocks. Careful. It's beautiful. Look at it. It's beautiful. Oh, shadow. Sorry, shadow. Yeah, I know. Camera. Do not get the camera between you and the sun. Being careful, small stones, small stones. Oh, just to add, there were 4 Whimbrel and 1 curlew. I just barely got it in the video there. It was a bit blurry, the camera was deciding not to focus too well. But that was it, you can see the clear difference of the very thin, longer beak of the curlew. And 4 Whimbrel, that was a nice touch. I thought there'd be more seabirds on these rocks, turnstone and maybe sandling or dunlin or something, but there's nothing here. It's just gulls. But that was great, yeah, that's a nice bit of, I've got a bit of footage of everything now. I'd like some more of the Whimbrel. It gives me another fly pass, so I'm keeping my eyes open. Got to have a head on a swivel. This is great. After chasing them all day, they're here. They're nesting on these rocks. I must have about 5 or 6. This is brilliant. Awesome. I don't know what the score is. They kind of go out and then they circle back. You can see one up there on the cliff face, and we get some pics. I've taken some video, but I better fill my boots now. This is brilliant.